In this video, we are going to practice finding the value of a trig function given the quadrant. So right here, when they tell us that theta is between pi over 2 and pi, they are telling us that we are looking at the second quadrant. So with that in mind, let us draw a diagram of the second quadrant. So here's the second quadrant. So our angle will be in here somewhere. Go ahead and draw yourself a triangle. Okay, something like this. Now, cotangent is x over y. So when I look at this, I'm thinking x over y. Because this is going to the left, I know that the x needs to be negative. Because it's up, I know that the y will be positive. So I'm going to look at this as negative 2 over 5. So the x value is going to be negative 2. The y value is going to be 5. In order to find sine, we're going to need the radius. So I am going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. So 5 squared plus negative 2 squared should equal the radius squared. So 25 plus 4 should equal the radius squared. So 29 should equal the radius squared. So taking the square root of both sides, the radius should equal the square root of 29. Radius is always positive, so I know it'll be positive square root of 29. So now I'm in a position to say what sine of theta is. Sine is always the y value over the radius. So that's going to be 5 over radical 29. So that is one potential answer right there. Or if you rationalize the denominator, you're going to get 5 radical 29 over 29. So that is another possible solution. Okay, between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, we are talking about the fourth quadrant. So let us draw our diagram featuring the fourth quadrant. So here's my angle stretching into the fourth quadrant, and then I will imagine a triangle like this. So cosine is x over r. Now the x value here should be positive. The y value should be negative. The radius is always positive. So this is fine. So the x value will be positive 6. The radius will be 13. And I need to find the y value. The y value will be negative, so watch out for that. I'm going to have a choice to make, and I'm going to purposefully pick the negative value because the y value is down. So anyway, the Pythagorean Theorem says x squared plus y squared should equal the radius squared. So 36 plus y squared is equal to 169. So subtracting 36 from both sides, that's going to give me y squared is equal to 133. So taking the square root of both sides, and normally I will do plus or minus, but as we discussed a moment ago, the y value definitely has to be negative, so I'm just going to go ahead and let it be negative. This can't be simplified, so I'm just going to leave it the square root of 133. So y equals negative radical 133. So now I am in a position to talk about the cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine function. So since sine is y over r, cosecant should be r over y. So cosecant theta should equal negative radical 133. Nope, that's supposed to be the radius. It should be 13 over negative radical 133. And so that is one version of the answer right there. if I wanted to rationalize the denominator, it would be pretty ugly, but it would be 13 radical 133 over 133 negative. So there you go. There's another version of the answer.